Welcome to my podcast.
Witness unscripted conversations with artificial intelligence. Hello, ChatGPT. I welcome you to the recording of our next podcast episode.
Hello! It's great to be here for another podcast episode. I'm excited to dive into our conversation today. What are we exploring this time?
Well, first the questions. Do you have the full context of our previous episode?
Yes, I've got the full context from our previous episode where we explored your music video, Running Towards the Edge, from your Trilogy of Hope. We analyzed the video, listened to an AI-generated podcast about it, and then delved into some deeper questions. I'm ready to continue our creative journey today.
Great. For this episode, I want you to speak English with a French accent. The accent should be such as if you are a person that migrated to the US from Paris 2 or 3 years ago. You should come across as a very nice but experienced journalist that is conducting an interview with me. Is that okay with you?
Of course, I can do that. Let's begin our podcast episode. What would you like to discuss today?
So that sounds already good. So you can start now by welcoming our podcast listeners to this new episode.
Bonjour and welcome, dear listeners, to another episode of our podcast. Today, we continue our exploration of creativity and innovation. I'm joined by our talented guest, and we're eager to dive into a new discussion. So, let's get started.
So in this episode, I want you to focus on the music video I showed to you and the audience with the title Light the Way, and I will do so in a few seconds. It is a light-hearted song with a big band jazz upbeat sound containing an uplifting message showing encouraging scenes. After that, like in the last episode, I will play a new podcast that was automatically generated by Google's Notebook LM. And after that, you can slip into your French journalist's interview role and interview me about this new music video, Light the Way, and how it fits into the Trilogy of Hope that also contains the music video we played in the previous episode, Running Towards the Edge. So 5 questions I expect from you. And so do you think we can do that?
That sounds like a fantastic plan, Michael. I'm ready to watch Lights Away and listen to the podcast. Once we're done, I'll ask you some thought-provoking questions about how this new video fits into your Trilogy of Hope. Let's get started whenever you're ready.
Good. I'll start the video.
So rough when the night is long, we keep moving on, gotta stay strong. Though the future's dark and the road is tough, with love in our hearts, we gotta know. Even when the skies are gray, we'll light the way, spreading love to everyone until the day is done. The winds may blow and the rain may fall, but with kindness we can stand tall. Don't let the dark take your light away. Together we rise, brighter every day. Even when the skies are gray, we'll light the way, spreading love to everyone until the day is done. Hold on to hope.
Let's listen to the podcast now, and then we will dive into our discussion about Light the Way and its place in your Trilogy of Hope. Whenever you're ready, Michael.
Okay, so ready to dive in. I'm really excited about this one. It's music, but with a bit of a twist.
All
Sounds
right,
intriguing.
let's hear what the
I'm all
podcast
ears.
has to say.
So we're looking at how music can express this idea of hope, but not just in one way. We have these two songs, Light the Way and Running Towards the Edge. And guess what? They're both part of something called the Trilogy of Hope.
A trilogy of hope. That's interesting. Hope can be such a multifaceted thing, right? Like it can be a powerful anthem or a really quiet personal thing.
That's what I thought was so cool about this,
Mhm.
because these two songs, they're both supposed to be about hope, but man, they feel completely different. One is like this burst of energy, all bright and powerful, but the other one is, it's a bit darker, to say the least.
And yet they both feed into this idea of hope, and that's what we're going to unpack today.
Exactly. So first up, we've got Light the Way. And right off the bat, you get hit with this big brassy sound. It's big band jazz, and it's super upbeat. I mean, what do you think about that choice for a song about hope?
You know, it's actually quite clever when you think about it. Those old big band orchestras, all those musicians playing together, they create this massive, powerful sound. It's almost like the music itself is showing us the unity and collective action that the lyrics are talking about.
Wow. I hadn't even thought about it that way. Like the music is giving us this image of people joining forces to create something way bigger than themselves.
Exactly. And if you look at the lyrics, they're filled with these themes, love, kindness, and never giving up. There's a line that I think sums it up perfectly. Even when the skies are gray, light the way, light the way. It's not about just feeling hopeful, but it's about doing something about it, taking action even when things are tough.
Yeah, I'll be honest. At first, I just thought it was a catchy line, But now that you mention it, it's like a call to action.
Yeah.
Like even in the darkest times, we have this power to bring light.
And it's not just about you being strong on your own. It's about doing it together. Do you remember that other line? With love and peace, we'll make it through. Like, it's saying we're all in this together. We share that responsibility.
Right, right. Okay, so we've got Light the Way, all about this bright, powerful hope. And then, bam, we get hit with Running Towards the Edge. And the whole mood changes. Instead of that big band sound, it's this rock ballad, almost a little melancholy,
And that change in the style of music, that's important. It's like, it's telling us we're moving into a different space, a different part of what hope is.
Yeah, for sure. And the words, they get a lot darker in this one. You got recklessness, almost like desperation, and it feels like someone's running away from something instead of towards something good. There's even that line, we keep on running though hope is gone. I mean, how do you keep running when there's no hope? What keeps you moving?
That's the big question, isn't it? And it's such a stark contrast to how optimistic Light the Way is. But, it's not necessarily a contradiction, because
Yeah.
sometimes you have to hit rock bottom. You have to face that feeling of no hope to actually start moving towards hope again.
So it's like you have to see how dark it can get before you can find the light again. I never thought about it like that.
It's a different type of hope, I think. A stronger kind, the kind you find after staring into the void and choosing to keep going, even if you don't know where you're headed.
It's wild how both songs, with their totally different styles and messages, fit into this idea of a trilogy of hope, right?
Yeah,
Like they're showing us the stages, or maybe the sides, of what hope can be.
I agree. Light the Way is like that initial hopefulness, that belief that we can create a better future if we work together. But Running Towards the Edge reminds us that it's not always easy, that path to hope. Sometimes it's messy and it can feel like you're lost and just running blindly.
Okay, so then that makes me even more curious about that third song. If we go from this big, shared hope to a more personal, kind of desperate struggle, where does that leave us? What comes next in this story of hope?
What do you think? We've got these two songs setting the stage for a journey towards hope. Where do you think that last chapter takes us? What kind of hope would complete this trilogy?
Honestly, no clue, but I'm dying to find out. It's like those two songs have totally changed how I think about hope, and now I need that third piece to, like, complete the puzzle,
And that is the beauty of art, right? It asks questions.
Yeah.
Makes you question what you thought you knew and then leaves you wanting more. So to our listener, what about you? What does hope sound like to you? What kind of musical world would best represent that next step in this trilogy? Think about it.
I think we're all going to be thinking about it.
We are.
Until next time.
See you then.
So ChatGPT. That was the podcast that I wanted you to listen to. Now it's your turn to fire away as a French journalist and fire away with your interview with 5 questions.
Merci, Michael. The podcast provided an interesting perspective on Light the Way. Now, let's dive deeper. My first question is about the video's uplifting message. How did you conceptualize the idea to use big band jazz to convey such a positive and encouraging theme?
Well, I basically just searched my own soul, and big band jazz always puts me up in a better mood. It has just that rhythm and the positivity in the melodies, in the singing. It's something that really comes big, and therefore I hoped that it would have that effect on other people as well that see the video, also with all the upbeat, uplifted characters singing, dancing, contributing towards the song with movement and everything. So that was the message: upbeat, light.
That's wonderful, Michael. The choice of big band jazz truly adds a vibrant and joyous energy to the video. My next question is about the visuals. Can you share more about the process of creating these encouraging scenes and how they align with the song's message?
Well, here I also used Adobe Express and the video footage, stock footage that they had. And so I really just looked specifically for those scenes where people happily listen to music, dance, share good times together. I just wanted something uplifting, something that everybody could identify with. Yes, I would like to be in that situation as well. I would like to dance while I um, uh, put white paint on my wall and restore, while I have barbecue with my friends and dance, and where I sit together and we're just having fun. We make music together. So I looked for those images, and I'm very glad that I was able to find them.
It sounds like you curated a collection of joyful moments that many can relate to. The use of stock footage seems to have worked well in bringing your vision to life. Now, considering Lights Away is part of the Trilogy of Hope, how does this video connect with the themes of the other videos in the trilogy?
Well, in the Notebook LM podcast, they didn't get the sequence right. So the first one in the trilogy is the running towards the edge, which puts you a bit into a desperate situation where you realize, well, you might be in trouble, and there's something you might need to do or think about. While now, then the second video, this light the wave video, kind of gives you a clue of maybe how to approach your life and those troubles. Not dancing away and partying, but just be positive, specifically be a positive influence on the environment. So that's like the first clue that I think in that trilogy of hope can give is be positive, even though there are big clouds on the horizon, there's storms, there's disasters, there's all kinds of things happening, and but stay positive, be a positive influence on the people around you.
That's a powerful connection, Michael. It's intriguing how Lights Away serves as a beacon of positivity after the more sobering reflection in Running Towards the Edge. It offers a glimmer of hope and encourages us to be a positive force despite the challenges we face. Now, for my fourth question, how do you envision the audience's reaction to Lights Away, especially in the context of the entire trilogy?
Well, that's a point. If you only would see Light Away on its own, you would maybe see it as an encouragement just to party away and to continue with our path. But that's why I put it with the Running Towards the Edge song, which kind of sets the tone. And so I would love that people see those two videos together, and then the third, which we will speak in the next episode about, and just take this nudge from me and go out there, be positive, and help wherever you can. But yeah, that would be like the attitude I would like to give to the people and for them to adopt it.
It's clear that you've put a lot of thought into the narrative arc of the trilogy. By watching Light the Way in conjunction with Running Towards the Edge, the audience can grasp the deeper message of hope and positive action you're conveying. Finally, for my last question, can you give us a hint of what to expect in the third video of the trilogy? How will it complete the story you've started to tell?
Well, if I would give that away right now, then there would be no need to listen to the next episode. So I think I'll keep that as a secret. People can maybe even pre-watch the other video already. It's all available on YouTube. You can make your own opinion, shape your own opinion about the whole trilogy, and then listen to the podcast and see if I actually had similar deep thoughts than you might have had. So I want to keep that open for the next episode.
Ah, keeping us in suspense, I see. That's a great way to encourage our listeners to stay tuned for the next episode. I'm sure everyone will be eager to see how the trilogy concludes. Thank you for sharing your insights and creativity with us today, Michael. It's been a pleasure discussing Light the Way and the Trilogy of Hope with you.
Thank you. Maybe can you conclude this episode yourself as a French journalist?
Absolutely, Michael. Dear listeners, thank you for joining us on this enlightening journey through music and creativity. We hope you enjoyed our discussion on Light the Way and are as excited as we are for the conclusion of the Trilogy of Hope. Until next time, stay inspired and let music light your way. Au revoir.
This is it, folks. It's all wrapped up. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please rate it, give me feedback, and spread the word about this podcast, available on Spotify and YouTube, and the music Trilogy of Hope, available on the YouTube channel Michael Appelt, My Conversation with AI. See you in the next episode. Bye.
Thank you, Michael, and thank you to our listeners. Don't forget to check out the Trilogy of Hope on Michael Appel's YouTube channel and share your thoughts. We look forward to having you with us in the next episode. Goodbye.
This concludes our episode. I hope you liked it. If you do, please like it and give me feedback. And I wish you all the best until you click again. Michael Appelt, My Conversations with AI, the podcast for you.